Hello everyone, Dale over here. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Game of Thrones and how I actually was thinking it was going to end, but if the show have done it this way, I don't think like people would have been happy either. But this is just for my imagination or how I imagine it to become into the future of Game of Thrones episodes, and we will actually start with the Night King episode, where I think like the Night King could have won, and we could still have the people that we see later on survive this if like we imagine Bran and Jamie and John fighting against the leaders or the under leaders of the White Walkers and not the Night's King, but like killing them and like seeing like for example his father raised from the grave and Arya had to kill him again, like that would be breaking your heart. And I think like what is a really missed opportunity in that episode is the raising of the dead. We should have seen him come back from the dead. We should have seen Aya's horror face when he came back without a head on his shoulders and like being dragging a sword on his side. Maybe he found something that was as long as his old sword, but and like that was too much to hope for. So I was just hoping for him to come back as a zombie and like Aya had to kill her father again or something in those lines. I don't mind like she's the one killing the Night's King also, but I think like it could have a little bit more substance, or how to say that. Like, okay, let's say like John couldn't come get to the Night King because he was distracted by the dragon, and we see for example some of the others trying to help John. So for example we will have Tormund and girl helping him, or like Brienne again and Jamie, or somebody that's trying to help him and like take care of the dragon. And it's not possible for them to kill the dragon. And when the Night King dies, the dragon doesn't die, and they don't understand why, but they find out like Bran has taken over with his mind control and are now lost in the dragon. So like the dragon don't attack like John and the others, but Bran becomes the dragon so he can fly with John on him, or something in those lines. Or everybody just becomes White Walkers, or like underlings to the White Walkers, and like John could be the right hand to the Night's King. And we could switch the ending scene with not John killing Dany, but John killing the Night's King instead, and everything just goes out as it should be. Because like I think it could make sense if the blue dragon flame was the only flame that could melt the throne. I have nothing against Bran being the king. I just feel like he could have like taken over some dragons, or he could have done something a little bit more helpful than taking over the ravens. But I still feel like he has earned the right to be king, or how to say that. But this could just make it more interesting, I think, if like we see him like take over the dragon, as I said, like the ice dragon, the already turned into undead ice dragon. and him being like, well, I saw this coming, so now I have to fight with you guys, or I have to fight against Daenerys. And Daenerys, of course, with Drogon being the last dragon standing, they will have like a dragon fight. That could have been amazing. Something I also feel like is a little bit of a waste, or how to say that, is in the newer episode, is like they don't have any. Well, the Night King's episode, they don't have any fights against the leaders of the Whites. So I was thinking like we could have a fight scene between like Tommen and one of the Night King's underlings, or how to say that. I think like there's seven, and then of course we would have the others fight against the also the leaders, actually, like Daenerys almost being taken over by one of the leaders, and like her being defended and him killing it because they have dragon glass and stuff like that. But I don't think like the thing to stop. I don't mind the thing to stop the Night King was actually dragon glass, but I could have think I was thinking like it could have looked cooler if it was like a needle, and she like poked needle inside of like the Night's King, and it blew up in flames. So she was actually the princess that was promised, or how to say that. And that's also something I'm missing from the newer episode, where Jon again does the thing to Dany, because like I wanted the sword to burst out in flames so we could see like he was the prince that was promised, and this was the only way to actually do this, and the magic got released or something, and then the dragon was reacting to that, and I think like that could have made more sense. And to top it all off, I just re-saw the last episode, and it's not even Longclaw Jon is using to do the stuff. And I was just like, that actually disappointed me a little bit, because the first time around that I saw it, I actually thought it was Longclaw. But it doesn't matter which sword it is, just like me being like, why didn't it burst into flames? Like, we've been waiting for that prophecy to be fulfilled and stuff like that. All of the other stuff I think like is awesome. I wouldn't change it. It could also have been interesting if the last thing that happened was what I said with the White Walkers, and the Night's King have now taken over everything and not killed Jon, Bran, Sansa, Tyrion, and some of the other main ones, Jaime and Cersei, and all of that good stuff. Like, it could also have been really interesting if it went with my other fan theory that I had with like Cersei becoming the Night's Queen. So like the Night King didn't go for King's Landing. There was just a red herring. He went for like the keep and took over Cersei, and it's not that much of like to change her appearance, I guess. Like, it could have been done with makeup. That's all that I'm going to say with that. And she could still like do the same stuff, and like Euron could have been killed by the Night's King, or he could have been the right hand of the Night's King. That could also have been like really interesting to see. But I'm just rambling on about like things that I wanted for the God episode, or some way that I thought like it could have been like even more amazing than it was, because I still like it. It's just like I must admit that there was the things with the Valonqar prophecy, or the yeah, the sword bursting into fire and the prince that was promised and all of that good stuff that was just like wasted. So, but I don't know what you guys think. Do you think I'm thinking too much about it? And yeah, that was actually all that I had to say for today. I hope like some fan or somebody is going to make the things that I'm saying. Like, I know you can do a lot in Photoshop and you can do a lot in the newer animation stuff that we have and programs that can change everything. So like if I have the time, I will actually try to see if I could change it a little bit to what I wanted, with like the dragon at the last point being the ice dragon instead. Yeah, flame throwing blue flames at the throne, and the Night's King being killed by Jon instead of yeah. So I don't know if you guys like that idea, because like then the previous stuff left like Aya, it could have been like one of the leaders, one of the underlings from the, like he sends his seven leaders of the Night's King and whatever, and tries to kill Jon and the others, but it doesn't work, and the only thing that happens is him like taking over the keep and taking over Cersei, and then the budget for the special effects and stuff like that would have been even less, because like the only thing we needed then was Cersei as a White Walker. That could have been looking really cool, and then the only other thing we needed was for like Jon to kill the Night's King instead, and like his flame bursting out in flame and flame throwing the throne just with blue flame instead of normal red flame. Oh, another thing that was also wanting to see was Summer coming back as Winter, and a lady coming back as a zombie werewolf, whatever, dire snow wolf, or how to say that. And like that's a missed opportunity for Sansa to actually be like, oh, I have to kill a lady, or I have to kill like my father. It could also be like him going after her instead. It's just like a ways to see them in the crypts and being like, we're going to defend ourselves, but nothing happens, and she gets the dagger, but she doesn't even use it on anything. So that was a wasted opportunity, and I think like we could have felt more for Sansa. Just try to imagine like her father coming back with Lady by his side, being like, okay, Tyrion, you just brace yourself, because I have to, you know, fight my own father. And all of the sudden, like, Aya also joins the fight or something. But I don't know if you like these ideas. I will stop rambling on, and this is just my ideas for our episode, and I know like they're already done with it, and I'm fine with it, and we will have spin-offs, and we will have other series to look upon. Series that I would recommend watching is Lucifer, Vikings, Death Note if you're into anime, Claymore, Berserk, and yeah, that's what off the top of my head I could just think about. But yeah, that was actually all for today with the God things. I will make some My Little Pony fan theories today as well, so be looking forward for that. But that was actually all. Do remember that inspiration is right around the corner. Do remember to take care of yourself and loved ones. And that was actually all. Yeah, okay, bye.